Assalamualaikum. First of all, thank you to our supervisor, Encik Muhammad Cahaya bin Kesat, and our panel, Miss Nur Farah Atika and Dr. Muhammad Azim. Okay, before I start present for my part, I would like to introduce for our group project members. Okay, first of all, my name is Nur Mufika binti Fikirazi, and my matric number is AA180018.
My name is Ahmad Syazal Azhari bin Mak Nafis. My matric number is AA180471.
My name is Muhammad Hamizan bin Zabidi and my matric number is AA180783.
The title of our group project is The Development of Interactive and Informative Concrete Mix Design Software. Okay, the content of presentation that we include is the introduction, materials and methodology, result and discussion, conclusion and recommendation, and last but not least is the reference. So today I would like to present for the introduction. Okay, for the introduction, what is the concrete? So the concrete is a composite material composed of cement that actually is a binding material of fine and coarse aggregate and mixed with water that will harden on time. Okay, next is for the problem statement. Okay, the learning process for concrete mixing method is very hard for some students, especially for the calculation. This is because the calculation of concrete mixing methods required a relatively complex calculation on methods and also involve a long calculation method. Okay, the objective is to develop a user-friendly, interactive and informative CMix Pro for concrete mixed materials calculations on using Excel as a development platform. Okay, that you can see on the next slide is this is the three component that we use under introductions, which is Microsoft Excel, GKR and BRE. These three components that we refer more and we get the more information from the GKR and BRE. And for the Microsoft Excel is our software that we use for our project. Okay, first is about the Excel. Excel is a spreadsheet program written and distributed by Microsoft. Second, Excel can be used for everyday activities to create and customize a variety of forms for specific tasks such as keeping attendance, records, grade books, check books, reconciling bank statements, and calculating commissions. Okay, the next is JKR. JKR is the main reference for concrete emulations. Okay, why our group choose to refer the JKR and BRE? Okay, first for the JKR have the all data for the concrete that we use it along our project, and the two table that we use, which is by weight batching and by volume batching, and the data our group transfer to our software, which is a Microsoft Excel that can help the all student in civil engineering to solve the problem in the calculations, and it's not take a more time to solve this problem. In the BRE that we focus for the calculation in design mix. Okay, in the design mix for BRE there's that 5 stage, and the stage is recording step by step. Okay, that you can see on the next slide is this is the flow chart of process calculation for design mix. Okay, that you can see in the flow chart they were arranged stage by stage, and it is easy to understand it, how to get the value, when and where to get the value.
Okay, next let me continue for the materials and methodology. In the materials and methodology, the first one we will see is the flowchart of the project. The first chart will begin its flow with the start, and then the second stage will be the storyboard. In this storyboard, it is an early description of this program, and it is also to gather idea and details information for this program. And then for the third stage will be the Microsoft Excel. In this stage, we will be learning the Microsoft Excel and learn it how to produce our program using this Microsoft Excel. And then for the fourth stage will be the worksheet. In this stage, we will be produce our worksheet for our own program using this Microsoft Excel. And then the flowchart will end. Okay, next let us see the common worksheet function. In the common worksheet function, it consists of two basic buttons. The first one is back, home and option button, and the second one is the label button. Okay, so let us see for the back, home and option button first. To make this button, firstly user just need to click the developer in the toolbar and select insert to add a button box. And then there will be a two option will appear. The first one is form controls and the second one is active as control. Then user needs to select the square button from form control to make a text coding box. And the user also have to sketch the box on the Excel sheet with any size the user need. After that, an assigned micro figure will appear on the screen and optional has given to write micro name or not. To submit and save the micro name, click new on the assigned micro figure, and next a figure will appear, which is the Microsoft Basic application. Microsoft Visual Basic for application book to turn in the forms control from a coding box. After that, click the save file button at the top right of the from that figure and click the button close after done. And then a box button will appear on the Excel sheet. To edit the name of the box button, user just need to right click the mouse and select the edit text. Okay, for the label button, the step just the same as back, home and option button, but it is easier than that. Firstly, user also need to click the developer toolbar and select insert to add a button box. And also there will be a two option that will appear. The first one is forms control and the second one is active as control. This time user needs to select the label button from forms control. After that, the user just need to sketch any set of box on sheet and label button will appear right away with labels name. To edit the labels name, right click the mouse and the label and then after the label box appear. Okay, next we will see the advanced worksheet function. In advanced worksheet function, it consists of three functions. The first one is VLOOKUP, the second one is data validation, and the third one is graph chart. Okay, firstly we will see the VLOOKUP function first. To make this VLOOKUP function, user needs to click an empty cell from sheet and function box will appear at the toolbar, and then write the VLOOKUP function in the box beside the insert function. To write the VLOOKUP function, user needs to write the equal symbols before make any function. After that, write the VLOOKUP along with other function number from the data sheet and submit the function, and needed data will appear in the output. User can see the figure for the VLOOKUP in the slide. Okay, next we will see for the data validation. Firstly, to make this data validation, user needs to click the data box at the toolbar and a box of data will appear. Next, click the data validation in the data tools. The data validation figure will appear on the Excel sheet. After that, click list button in the optional box. For the source, select the data from table to fill into the box and click OK button to submit. User can select data at the optional button beside the box number. Lastly, we'll receive for the graph chart. To make this graph chart, user needs to click the insert box at the toolbar and a chart option box will appear. Then choose insert line graph and a blank graph will appear, and user needs to right click to select the data from table. After that, select the data from table and click OK to submit. So a graph with a line appear with the selected data. In the slide you can see the figure of the graph chart example.
Without wasting time, let's go to the chapter 3, result and discussion. For this chapter, I will show you about the function for every single button in Microsoft Excel. The first one is you need to click the image button, which is the option button, and then it will appear a next page. Also for the home button, you just click the button and then it will go back for the front page. So let's go for the example in Microsoft Excel.
Alright, first step we need to go to developer, click insert at the form control, you click the button, and then at here make a box button. After that, click the new, and then for the formula, write range bracket open quotation B12 close quotation close bracket dot select. Alright, click save. And then the button is here.
For the label button, we cannot click the button like a form button, but we only can write or label name in this box button.
Alright, for the label button, you only can write text in this box, but you cannot click this box. Cannot click. Okay, you just can write text or number in this box.
For the VLOOKUP function, we need to select all the data from the table and insert it into the VLOOKUP function, and the data will appear in the output box. Let's go to the example.
Alright, so the data will look up and the output will be function. After you click the list at the concrete grades, and then you choose the grade of concrete, and then the data will be appear at the output box.
Next is data validation. After you select all the data from the table and submit the form list, the optional data will appear at the input, which is the grade of concrete. So you can choose all the grade. Let's go to the example.
Alright, how to make optional data using data validation. Add here, add input. Alright, the first thing, we go to data at the toolbar, and then click the data validation. After that, at allow you need to choose the list, and then at source, go to data sheet, and then you select all the grade of concrete. Alright, after this, click OK. Alright, now you can choose all the grade of concrete. Alright, the result for data validation. At the input, you can choose the grade of concrete 15, 20, 25, or 30. And the data will appear at the VLOOKUP in the output box.
For the graph chart, the kind of graph will appear in the Microsoft Excel after you select and submit all the data in the table. So let's go to the example.
Alright, now how to make a chart graph in this Microsoft Excel. The first one, you need to click insert button, the toolbar, and then add chart part. You need to select the 2D line chart, the blank white page will appear, and then you right click and select the data. At chart data range, you need to select data under the sample like this, and you need to edit the horizontal for axis label. Select the characteristic strength 0 to 70 and click OK, and then OK again. Alright, so this is our table.
So this is our program calculation under JKR standard use. Now I will show how the weight batching calculation and volume batching calculation will be functioned in Microsoft Excel. Let's go.
Okay, under the calculation module, we already divide by 2, which is prescribed needs under JKR and design needs under BRE. So under prescribed needs, there are 2, which is by weight and by volume. Let's go to the by weight batching. Alright, this is a calculation under the weight batching. We already divide by 2, which is at the left is medium and at the right is high workability. For the medium workability, there are some grade you can use, which is 15, 20, 25 and 30. Alright, you can get the cement content in kilogram, 400 total aggregate in kilogram, 1700 fine aggregate in percent 0.25, and the water cement ratio 0.45. Also, at workability height, you can get the same output with high workability. Alright, next let's go to by volume batching calculation. Okay. At here you can choose, at input you can choose the ratio of proportion grade, which is the first one is 1, 1, 2 in 30 proportion of grades. And then the data will appear at the fine and coarse aggregate, free, max water cement ratio 0.45, quantity of water in liters 22.5, and also a strength of concretes at 7 days and 20 days. Okay.
Next is the result from design mix calculation under the BRE. So you need to follow a few steps to get all the output data.
Alright, now let's continue to the design mix calculation under BRE. Here. Okay, this is interface of design mix calculation. For the stage 1, for the characteristic strength grade, and choose 30 megapascal, with ampersand defective. Use 2.5%. Cement class is for T2.5. Type of aggregate is uncrushed. The maximum aggregate size is 20 for the stage 2. The slump is 10 to 30 for the stage 3. Stage 4, the relative density I assume as 2.6 kg. Last but not least, at the stage 5, for the proportion fine aggregate, and choose 27. Alright, so this is output for design mix calculation. For the stage 1, the characteristic of strength, we choose 30 MPa and we get standard deviation at 8. And we choose percent defective 0.025, which is 2.5%, and we get the output 1.696 for variable k. And the target mix strength we get 30.2. For the cement class, we use 42.5 uncrushed, and we get the approximate strength 42 and the free water cement ratio 0.47. For the stage 2 maximum aggregate size, we choose 20. On the slump test, we choose 10 to 30, and we get the water cement at the output 160. For the stage 3 cement content, how to get 340, 160 water content multiplied by 0.47 free water cement ratio, and we get 340 at cement content. For the stage 4, we choose the relative density 2.6 as assumed, and then we got the concrete density 2400, and the total aggregate content 1900. Right, for the stage 5, and the grading of the fine aggregate, we get 70, and then the proportion fine aggregate, we choose 27%, and fine aggregate content we get at the output 515, which is we multiply 1900 at the total aggregate content with 27%, we get 515. Last but not least, cost aggregate content, we got 1385, which is we minus 1900 to aggregate content minus
Microsoft
aggregate
Excel
content
chosen to be the medium
515,
in
and we
creating
got
a new design software with easy
1385
accessibility.
for cost
The
aggregate
second
content.
thing is it
That's all
contains
for
a
design mix
spreadsheet with a
calculation.
simple
Thank
interface,
you.
which is really user-friendly and easy to use by all students and lecturers. The third is Microsoft Excel is already in every student laptop, which can be an education tool. The fourth is automatic calculation of a computerization system. Fifth, they can use it for free. Last but not least, this software can calculate or require data for concrete mix by entering the value in an input cell. That's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, for the conclusion is concrete mixing method require a complex calculation method to determine the quantities for fine and coarse aggregates, water and cement for the concrete. Okay, next for your information, this program of Microsoft Excel as interactive and informative design concrete mix was developed to help the students for designing the concrete mixing in the easiest way. Okay, so here there are some modification or upgrade that can be made in this project, such as the visual basic application function will be a great enhancement for this project. Second, include a video player, and last but not least is graphical image. Okay, last but not least, that you can see on the slide, this is our reference that we use under technical paper. That's all from us. Thank you.